All right, let me see what's bumping over here on 432. The drop. Let go. I think we in the drop city. Yeah. Yeah, we in drop city right now, man. Thawada for being patient with your bruh, man. I will be getting back on my updates, man. Y'all be hitting me up like, hey, man, when you gonna drop all the Prester John hours, man? We got so much to drop. I have so many files to drop. So I just wanted to catch up on a few things, man. One thing at a time, man. I try to multitask. But yeah, get over here and, you can always access the live ether, man, right here. Or just click the listen right there, man. And they out to everyone showing that love, man, showing that support, man. All the Dragon sponsors on the wall. Get over here, man. Show your love to the Ether Squad, man. Dropping 24/7, presentations, man. I mean, straight awakening presentation. Reading books to the community. Dropping drops, sharing their time, man. So this is how you support, man. Sponsor 432 to Drop Radio. Become a dragon on the wall. Copper dragon, silver dragon, gold. Whatever's in your flow, man. Hey, hop to the real ones, man. You can always reach our, all our drive, man. You can reach all the drive, man. So get on over here, surf the wave. Hey, hop to the real ones. Hey, hop to the dragon sponsors. We're just surfing the wave. Who are the roots? Who are the picks? It's about that time. It looks like it's about to get real pictish around here. The Prester John investigation's almost, hitting that mark, man. I look forward to Prester John 50. I might do a bonus 51 because I know one of my Prester Johns is missing. Ty Battle keeps saying I skipped one. I said, come on, Ty Battle. I wouldn't skip a Prester John, man. So I got to try to find it. I think it's Prester John 27 that we can't find for some reason. So it might be a bonus 51. And then, obviously the investigation will always continue. We'll always talk David. But, that would be the culmination of that series. And I appreciate y'all for surfing away for years to reach the culmination and just to give back, man. I got to think of something real special. Some great giveaways, man, for just a nice finale for Prester John 50, maybe 51. Yeah, I mean. We're just talking the rules, the picks. Yeah, then we're going to get busy with these picks, man, and just surf the wave, man. Get back into the flat drop, talk orientation, man. Just have fun, man. We're just going to have fun. Let's go. This feels like a brand new beginning over here at TDR. Truly appreciate y'all, man, for witnessing. Witnessing the flow, the wave up, the wave down. You still on the wave, man. Hey, we're reaching the mark. The mark is the Makir. So let's talk Makir. Let's talk Makir. It's very important to reach the Tau. You know what I mean? The Saracen. We're going to hear a lot about, these Saracens, man. And of course, we got it out the Papal Bull, Doom Diversas, subjugate the Saracens, the darkies. These are the Saracens. They called you darkies, man. All right, so when we dig on these Scythians and these Saracens and these Picts and these Ruses of Russia called Russia, we talk about Clan Ross, man. I said, when we talk about Clan Ross, oh, man, I mean, you're just talking about the lost tribes of Israel. And it's all by design that, we're being energized. This is an energy thing. This is not anybody doing nothing but just enjoying the energy. We're talking Cathay. We're talking Cathar. We're talking the Cathayans or the Kara Katai. Katai is Cathay. Is Catholic. Uh-oh. Catholicism. Katai. Cathnis. Uh-oh. Because I think all we've been doing is talking Katai. Katai. In India Superior. You know what I'm saying? We're talking America, man. So let's dig on it, man. Which way you want to cross this bridge? You want to take the Straits of Ania? Right quick, I promised y'all something. Remember, I was looking for the link with Genghis Khan and the name George, and I was looking in the wrong source. It's probably still in that source. And by the way, love to the family that hit me up to get a copy of this drop. You know what I'm saying? The medieval history of the Israelites. Cost $999 on Amazon. But, send me an email, man. Holla at me, man. Holla at me. Music at 432thedrop.com. So it's probably in here. I spent hours looking. It's in here. It's in here, man. But there's another source that links with this Anatoly Flamenco drop that's inside of here as well. So we can still get that. And I'm going to leave this link for you right here. I know it's a little small, man. You know what I'm saying? Scoot on up. I'll read it to you because it's going to connect a lot. We're talking Russia. We're talking Russia. We're talking the Kingdom of Georgia. Oh, yeah, we're going to dig on the Kingdom of Georgia. Because we're just talking about that same tile, that same cross, right? That same tile. Uh-oh, they slanted it. It was originally slanted. This is the Wakanda, right? The Hawaka. We're just talking Saracen, which means we're just talking you. We're just talking Russia. We're just talking Rus. All of it is connected to India Superior, man. You know what I mean? They're gonna make me get it again. No doubt. No doubt. All right, we're gonna get it later, but you know that Prester John map, you know what I'm saying? So every show, drop, why don't you just save this thing? I think I did save it, man, but look, man. So we're just talking Rus, man, which means we're just talking you. So you got Russia, obviously, that's connected through that Strait of Anion, the Anon, right? So, we're going to get back into that, but you know what we're talking about now. Now you know what we're talking about. So all of this, this is Asia or Russia. This is just one of the Indies, right? So when you talk about Genghis Khan, he pretty much first had to get this area settled. You know what I mean? First, he had to roll up on that before he can start pushing right over that Strait of Anion, you know what I'm saying, to get to India Superior and go to war against the Grand Khan. And he still never got all the lands that Prester John had, not even close, you know what I mean? So, he was just a shell of a Khan, But yeah, back in this drop, you got all these links, click on them. Chronologia.org. All right, this is going off that Flamenco Anatoly Recon. This is chapter 4, the epic of the 16th century. The creation of the Russian state, Russian horde, right? Remember, the horde is just order. So when you see horde, it's just order, all right? The Rus order. Who's the Rus? Clan Ross. We just went there. First found in Caithness, this family was associated with the Clan Ross. Yeah, man. Yeah, some would say we're just talking the Scots or Scotia, like Princess Scotia, right? The original chiefs of the clan were original Earls of Ross. And when you start reconning, you keep seeing this MAC. Now, this is the first recorded chief of Clan Ross, Fercher Mac Antasagirt. Fercher of Ross. And you see that MAC, that Mac, right? Like Bernie Mac was the first of the Scottish Boleyn family, who received by royal grant the lands and title of Mormere of Earl of Ross. We know him from the 13th century. We're back in the 1200s. See all this connecting? Because we were just talking about that other Moses, and we're going to get on these three Moseses as well. But we're just talking about that other Moses, right? Just follow me now. Where we at? The other Moses. We got on this. We got on the Sefer HaMitzvot. Get that drop from 46. This is the 47th installment in the Prester John series at 432. The drop, man. We on the investigation. Hey, oh yeah, we're just talking the other Moses. 1200. We got David's lining up. The Anam and David drop. Like I said, we definitely gonna be hitting up. We definitely right on the heel bones. You know what I'm saying? Of a lot of things right now, including the three Moseses. Uh-oh. Phantom on Phantom. Okay, I'm getting too excited. This is Prester John 47. You should see my notes, man. I never really wrote notes, man, but now it's just so much coming out. I gotta keep track. That this Moses is the son of Amram, which is the son of a sinless man. Oh, man. Phantoms and duplicates. All right, hold up. It's getting too good. Where's my Jesse drop? Jesse, son of David. Man, Jesse. You know what I'm talking about? And again, love to Yosef the Real, who's been all up in the heel bones, man. Talking Dawi. We're talking Jesse, right? Which means we're talking Isai. We're going to get later, man. We're digging on Miriam and we're digging on the Quran. That Miriam's son is also Joshua, but he's also called Isa, I-S-A. So literally, we have a connection with this ISA, Isa. Huh? Jesse's Isa and Jesus is Isa, right? Or Isu, right? Both sinless men. Huh? In part because in the Old Testament it mentioned in the genealogy of Isu, right? Or Joshua, really, Joshua. Later rabbinic traditions name him as one of the 4 ancient Israelites who died without sin. The other ones being Benjamin, Kiliab, which we established now is Daniel, the second son of David, without sin. He's an XLR. Then you got Amram. Moses' pops is also without sin. Got it. Okay. Now, we were just connecting these 3 Moseses, right? You're like, what's the other one, Drop? Well, actually, we got a few more. I mean, look. Don't even trip. We'll get it. Just focus on this Moses. Focus on Moses Maimonides. All right? Foremost intellectual figure. All these Moseses are like the foremost. They had slightly different backgrounds, but they end up being the scholarly of the scholars and writing laws and rewriting. They say rewriting the Torah and scriptures, or are they writing it? But again, we're just connecting this Moses, who they say here, right? He said he wrote at 33. They said he was going too fast. March 30th is his birthday, 1135. He wrote this Sefer HaMitzvot, which is the Book of Precepts, which is really just the commandments, but it's broken up into, specific lanes of each commandment. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's over 600 and something altogether. You know what I mean? So Moses, at 33, wrote this document that we're comparing with Anam ben David, right? 1135. 33 plus 35 is what, 1168. So we're saying around 1168, 1170. He wrote this same Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Precepts. He wrote two other works in Jewish law of a lesser scope, the Sefer HaMitzvot. So he also wrote the Mishnah Torah. They keep saying reviewed laws of Jerusalem. He wrote the Hikah HaYerushalmi. Right? I mean, he wrote a lot of drop. Specifically, we're focusing on this drop because did the author of this drop write it in 1168? Or are we just talking to Ben David writing the same code, the Sefer HaMitzvot Book of Precepts, in when? 770. Now we're finding the real life phantoms and duplicates, man. Was it 770, man? Or was it 1170, 400 years later? And we're going to get some more of this this Sefer HaMitzvot. We read the first three positive commandments and the first three negative. The negatives are just what not to do, and this is what to do. It says view all 248. So there's 248 positive and 365 negative commandments. Do the math. Matter of fact, let's do it together. That's 613. Dang. Man, you do it with me. All right. That's 613 laws, right? So, all right. 613. And what I just was looking into on this, remember we also found this same Moses in the Genie.com drop for us to dig on further. There's another Moses, remember? Moses the Black, love to the Templar, he did a drop on this. So remember the time shifts. Remember they said this is crazy the way this links up, because basically, according to Anatoly Fomenko, it's 3 time shifts, right? So 3 main ones, not that there's not more, but there's 3 main ones. One is 333 years. All right, they dropped your history off, got the same king or the same, priest king, you know what I mean? But sometimes they'll change the name or the title, or they'll put it in the setting in a different land, a different location, but it's the same story. All right, so they drop one off 333 years. They drop another one off 1053, right? 1053. And then they drop another one off 1778. Now that one that they dropped off almost 1800 years, it's the same story that's popping off in the 1200s, but now it's in the BCs because they dropped it off so far back that no matter what I tell you, you still think it's in the BCs. But look how this one links up, because you got this Moses the Black, right? And this links up perfectly, kind of just right on the time shift. So I said 333 is the first time shift. You see this 330, Moses is born. All right, Moses the Black. And then I said what? You got you got another one. So you got this Moses here. And then you got, whenever Moses is supposed to be rocking, they say, you know what I'm saying? In the BCs, that's another drop off right there. We already know that one. You know what I mean? So we're just putting all this stuff together. We're putting all these Moshes together, man. Hold up, man. Let me get this drop, man. All right, there we go, man. So you got these 3 time shifts, these 3 Moshes, right? Even more. But you got that, again, this one right here. You got Moses the Black. You already know you got this Maimonides, right? So that's 333. And then another one, I said 1053. So let's call that 1100s, you know what I mean, roughly. So now you got this Moses born 1135. All right, so 300. You got a Moshe. All right. You got the 1100 situation. And then on this Moses, the third Moses, that we'll, I'm just showing you where it's going. Showing you where it's going with the third Moses. All right, so then you got a Moses I didn't even looked into yet, called Moses Mendelssohn. Mendelssohn was born in the year 1720 at Dessau in Duchy of Anhalt in Germany. Remember these swarthy Germans, man. Then you're going to have his whole story of how he became esteemed, right? His contemporaries surround him with esteem, admiration, posterity. Come on, man. So, but again, look at this year, 17. Remember the Federico drop, and it's not even supposed to really line up like this, but it's just kind of showing you like this is like mocking it almost. You got a 300-year shift, 1100-year shift. All right, basically, and then you got a 1700, 1800-year shift. All right, so you got all three. When you just look up those numbers, it's 300. You got a Moses the Black, 300. Then you got the 1100 situation, Moses Maimonides, and then you got the 1700 situation with Moses Mendelssohn. All right, and then of course you got the BC character that that we're taught an inception into only believing is the Moses of the BCs, right? So that's another drop off, man. Another drop off. Where we're just talking Moshe, and it's another drop off where we're looking at it like this with a non Ben David. Because now this is 700s. So this is another drop off who wrote the same book. But the interesting thing is, when I'm looking at that Jesse drop, these sinless men, 4 ancient Israelites who died without sin. You also just have this connection with David, right? Adnan ben David, right? So Jesse has a son, David, right? But this son, he's not without sin. He has to go through a transgression and be redeemed out of it, all right? So you got Jesse, son of David. David's father's a sinless man. Then you got this Moshe, whose father's a sinless man. And whatever transgression Moses made that kept him from entering the promised land, is another example of this righteous man who, made a serious transgression, throughout his life that ended up cutting him short at some point or splitting the kingdom up at some point or this type of thing. But you got Moses, the son of a sinless man. You got Jesse, all right, or David, the son of a sinless man. You got this David over here writing the code, the Sefer HaMitzvot, all right. All right, and then you got this Moshe right here writing the same code, Sefer HaMitzvot, Book of Precepts. And when we dig on it, we will continue in it. We're also gonna break down the original manuscript of Maimonides. All right, this Moshe, first mature work made, how it made it from Morocco to Jerusalem. Maybe an interesting article. I just pulled it up. I'm gonna read it with y'all, but we're just talking as Sefer HaMitzvot. And maybe we'll get, 3 more positives and 3 more negatives again, man. That'd be pretty dope. Back to Genghis Khan. So I promised y'all, man. Remember I was looking for this, man. I said there's a link between this George and this Ghenghis. Now, this was really, really hard to find because we already had this link up, but I just didn't know that I was looking on this link. But there's not a lot of recon on this one, man. This is kind of like one of those, again, spell-breaking drops because we got this kingdom of Georgia. And then we got Georgia with this Cherokee country right here, right? And how we was pushed up out of Georgia. Same thing with this kingdom of Georgia over there. You had the, the Rooses holding down Georgia that ended up, getting booted out of this Georgia over there. You know what I'm saying? Is it the same situation? Which one's the reflection? Either way, George is connecting directly with Genghis. And then, remember, we was theorizing was like, man, is this all? You know what I mean? When we talk about this invasion, you know what I mean? How much does this Genghis Khan play? How much? It seems to be a lot of secrecy around Genghis Khan, man. You know, there's a lot of drop, man, you know, to be uncovered still. We might have to do, just like we did a Prester John series, a whole Genghis Khan series, man. That's how much drop is around Genghis Khan, man. This Kingdom of Georgia plays major. Because, again, you're talking phantoms and duplicates. When we're talking Nebuchadnezzar in the book of Daniel, we're surfing the wave of, are we just talking Genghis Khan? Because it's happening in the Babylonian captivity. Is that why they separated the book of Daniel way over there? You know what I'm saying? And never ever mentioned he's the son of David in the entire book of Daniel until we recon the name Kiliab, only because we're researching the four sinless men. And then we get to Kiliab as one of the sinless men, and he's also Daniel, son of David. This is Daniel. This is Daniel, man. All right. Then I was saying, so are we saying, you know what I mean, that Genghis Khan or Shalmaneser or Nebuchadnezzar, you know what I mean, that Genghis Khan is who had the son of David captured. You know what I mean? He was calling on the princes, right? In the book of Daniel, it says he called the royal families, right? So he got these four out of Judah, one of which is this Kiliab or Daniel, which is the second son of David. You know what I mean? So I need you just to picture it, you know, like you never pictured it before. You got Genghis Khan, who has Daniel or David's son or Prester John's son in captivity. And because this son of David didn't bow down to the idols and actually, you know, like the story of Bel and the dragon, we got to get all that again. You know what I mean? Who wouldn't, you know, bow down to this idol, ended up destroying this idol because, you know, there's dragons on both sides of the wall. You dig? Good angels, bad angels, good dragons, bad dragons. You know, this dragon wanted to be worshipped over there. He was being worshipped over there. Daniel destroyed the idol. David destroyed the idol. So now we're really linking this Genghis and this George. And let's read it. Let's start right here. It was fully realized under the Grand Prince Khan or Kagan, Georgiy Danilovich, right? aka Genghis Khan or Gurkhan in the foreign sources. A vast and powerful state falls under his power. So this is what this Russian chronographer is putting together, and it's falling directly into the soft spot of our investigation. Because I'm like, is there a link, man, between this kingdom of Georgia, especially around the, 13th century, right? I mean, that's all we talk about is the 13th century. This is when the switch happened. This is when they say Prester John, was invaded by Genghis Khan or, went to war. The rest is just his story. We really don't know how this stuff really went down, but there does seem to be a connection between a Georgiy Danilovich and Genghis Khan. You bringing in the Russian, story. Now you got to bring in the Russes back. That's why I wanted to start with the Russes, so there's no misinterpretation who Clan Ross is. So when we dig on Scotland, you're just talking about yourself. You're talking about the three Indias. Prester John, the emperor of the three Indias. That's dark-skinned people over here, dark-skinned people over here, and so-called dark-skinned people over there. All one family, sharing the responsibility to guard the vortexes, to choose up, to be the mark, to be the Makiri, Ame'rican. So we're going to talk Makiri. Don't even trip. Don't even trip. Right now we're just talking George. And let's see what we can dig on this Georgiy Danilovich, because if this is real, if this is true, then when we talk Kingdom of Georgia, we're still talking, the family of Genghis Khan, but we're, really just still talking the original Davids, because even these are titles that this Genghis hijacked, because his name, is really Tagrul or Temujin or something like that. So these are titles. This Georgia, this Genghis, these are all the same thing. And now we can follow and know what we're talking about. We're not just talking about Genghis Khan's family, because this was going on in the 11th century, and this is before the Genghis Khan hijack. You know what I'm saying? This goes back and back and back. You got to start surfing the wave, man. And the Bagratuni, man. We're talking loonies and tonies, man. We're talking Ephraim, son of Prince David of Georgia. See, they ain't giving us a lot. Estimated before 1145. Same damn thing. Same thing. We're just talking the connection with Anam ben David and Moshe, right? We're just talking 1145. We're just talking the same thing. Just pay attention to the time. 1135. Come on, man. I can't make this up, man. Y'all know I can't make this shit up. 1145. Before 1145. So these links just go back and forth, and you click this one and you're back in the Bagratuni, but we're just talking the Davids of Georgia. We're talking Ephraim. You're talking Judah. You're talking the Asi, which is another great breadcrumb. Prince David. Let's go. So now that we've connected this George and this Genghis, this Gurkhan, you'll see it. We'll get some more on this, but I just want to, let it flow. Let's see what we got on this Danilovich. See if they give us anything. Okay, but in 1323, Novgorodian merchant returning from the Lukra lands of Novgorod were plundered by the people of Astius. In direct response, the Grand Prince Georgiy Danilovich led the Novgorodians in an attack on Uslug and plundered it. Then attacking in 1329, the people of Uslug attacked and killed Novgorodian merchants and hunters who were settling out for the Lugar land. These episodes confirm that the Novgorodians regularly used this route for their fur trade. Other versions of this reported a 1324 campaign against Uslug, however, revealed that Urti or Lurti had an additional concern. His intervention was aimed at guaranteeing regular collection and payment of funds for the tribute to the Golden Horde. I remember we were talking about Prince Ivan the Terrible. Ivan the Terrible connecting with Genghis Khan. I mean, don't even trip on the timelines because you're just talking 1200s, 1300s. You know Genghis Khan had to drop, man. You know he had to drop, so I ain't even tripping on the timelines when I'm talking David or Genghis Khan. You know they had to drop, right? Grand Prince Ivan Danilovich. So, you research this Ivan the Terrible. This is another phantom and duplicate in the timeline, according to Flamenco, that connects directly with Genghis Khan. And I didn't know his last name was Danilovich, so, that's another body bag. Okay. And this Golden Horde is another hard hit because we're back to the Golden Order. We're back to the Mongol drop. So I just wanted to see if there was any connection between this Georgiy, Danilovich, man. And obviously it's connecting you directly with Ivan the Terrible. And it's connected with you directly with Genghis Khan and the Golden Horde. All right, let's keep it going. We're just talking Georgiy, which means we're just talking the Kingdom of Georgia. All right, we're just talking the Rus. Okay. Let's get it from the top. The travels of Marco Polo concerning the province of Tenduk and the descendants of Prester John. Now listen up to this, man. I love digging on Marco Polo drive. Tenduk is a province which lies towards the east and contains numerous towns and villages, among which is the chief city, also called Tenduk. The king of the province is of the lineage of Prester John. So you find in Prester John linked to Susa, you link to, obviously Judah. We got him on the map right over Udall territory, Corvera, Antioch, right? Now check this out. What does it say there? George by name. So now we have to say, is this George title another title that David was rocking? Or is this Prester John title something that this George is now kind of what they call it? What they call it when someone is kind of jocking somebody else, you know what I'm saying? There's a name for it now. I feel like an old man. What's the youngsters call it? Oh man, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? When someone's all up in someone else's shine, all up in someone else's energy, you know what I'm talking about. It's gonna come to me later. But let's read it again. It says the king of the province is of the lineage of Prester John. Is of the lineage. So we're not saying the king of the village is Prester John. But this Tenduk is of the This king of Tunduk is of the lineage of Prester John, and his name is George by name. We're just talking what? Georgiy? Ivan the Terrible? Danilovich? Georgiy Danilovich? Or Genghis Khan? We're just talking the Golden Horde. The Golden Horde. The Order. The Order. The Order. The Hordian rule. We're talking the same thing. We're talking Russia. We're talking Asia. Oh, man. Hold on, man. Like, I'm like an addict, man. I need this map, man. I need my maps, man. I'm like an addict, man. I need my maps. I gotta go way back. I'm still getting my tabs back, man. You know, I get tabby. And then, you know, this thing glitched out and all my tabs are gone. So I gotta get my tabs back, man. I got a bunch of maps in here, man. I got all kinds of stuff. Okay. All right. Man, I did a lot of wave surfing. Hope y'all appreciate, man, all the wave surfers out there, man, that's been putting this, just putting our flow back together, man. Just returning to the crystalline amethyst. You know what I mean? We're starting to see clearly again. We know we're talking Prester John. We know we're talking the land of Prester John. And we know we're talking Mexico. Right. And they put this nice and small, this map that's in the British Museum. This map is in the British Museum. Circa 1530s, man. It's from the 1530s. Oh, man. Wait a minute. This map's from the 1530s. You gotta think about this, man. Come on, man. Oh, yeah. You're getting to the dark light consciousness. Man, where they put my map at, though? Oh, yeah, I want that. I want that, man. Yeah. So this map is from the 1530s. Why is Prester John still here? Unless you're just saying that, this land is still Prester John's land, but this is after the Genghis Khan of the Georgiy invasion. And again, this name George is a title. It ain't like George is a bad guy. I'm not even saying Genghis Khan is a bad guy. I'm just trying to understand what went down. I'm trying to put my bias to the side and just be strictly investigative on this one, man. Because I want to know the drive, man. Don't you? And there's a gang of islands around this area right here. That's crazy. But this is where I think logically Genghis Khan stepped up to Prester John. I mean, he might have just went right up over here. This is all Russia. So when we talk about the Russian order or horde, we're talking all this, man. All right, so when you see the Rusas and Clan Ross, we're talking these Nagas over here that's rocking, but they're still at war against all kinds of hijack. All right, this land is also connected to an area they call Gog and Magog, right? So David had to keep them in check. You're talking giants, you're talking all kinds of stuff. We about to get in more, but I just want to bring you back in. This is orientation 101. This is Cathay, India Superior, Mexico, Cuba. You got America here. All right. They mainly call this, man, okay. So we're just talking Russia, and then we're just talking, what we'll call America now, or Kalelus, or Quivera, or Annie. Come on. Clan Ross and Roos. Let's go. So George by name, and he holds the land under the great Khan. Not that he holds anything like the whole of what Prester John possessed. That's why I said Genghis didn't conquer everything. He didn't get the drop. But he got a good piece, but he didn't get the drop. Okay, again, read it, read it and see it clearly. We're talking Genghis, right? George by name. Now he's claiming this priest king. He's claiming a David. He's claiming the lineage of Prester John. But you're just talking Georgiy, man. You're just talking Georgiy or Genghis Khan. We're just still talking the kingdom of Georgia. We're going to read into this and see where the hijack went down and what happened here, because you probably see the same hijack at the same time, and somebody else probably took over the kingdom of Georgia at the same time that all this is going down. The king of the province is of the lineage of Prester John or King David. All right, so he could be, because some sources say that Genghis Khan is Prester John's blood nephew, that, that's his brother's son type of thing. Others say that's his foster son that he took in. What would Georgiy say? He's claiming to be the lineage. If he's the blood nephew of King David or Prester John, that would also make him in line of the Davids. You know what I'm saying? That's why he probably feels he can claim that title, because he is in line of a David. He's in the David line, the Davidic line. So when you have characters like Theodorus, rolling up on Sylvanus to Texas, they say that they're still Davidic princes, right? These are Davidic princes. So this is a family of Davids at war, man. Which lines up with script, whether we're talking about after the days of Solomon, the kingdom's being divided because of, whatever necromancy went down or whatever went down. You know what I mean? So this kingdom was divided, these Davids, right? Because Solomon is still a David. It's just talking Judah. So these are Davidic warriors going down. It's a Davidic war. And Genghis Khan, could very well be, legitimate David. You know what I'm saying? But was he the David? Now we're just talking about the lineage. George by name, he holds the land under the great Khan, and not that he holds anything like the whole of what Prester John possessed. It is a custom, I may tell you, that these kings of the lineage of Prester John always obtain to wife either daughters of the great Khan or other princes of his family. So part of the story is that after Genghis Khan, attacked King David here, Prester John here, he took the women, right? He took the daughters that he was trying to marry anyway. Because before, Prester John said, "No, you can't marry my daughters. You got offended." And they said that was the source of the war. In this province is found a stone from which Azores made. Remember these stones? Love to the Templar digging on these stones in the ether. Support the channels, all the bros, man, all the family, all the sisters. It is obtained from a kind of vein in the earth. Whoa. See, the cool thing about digging on Prester John is you get all kind of drop, man. You get all kind of drop on the natural healing frequency and vibration. You get all the secrets, man. You get the drag and drop. You get to put the timelines back together. You get orientation. And you see what they got chilling in the British Museum. They got Priest King Prester John all over North America, right? Holding down the crooks, right? The cross, right? The four corners. So in this province is found a stone from which a zor is made. It says obtained from a kind of vein in the earth and is of very fine quality. There's also a great manufacture of fine camlets of different colors from camels here. The people get their living by their cattle and tillage, as well as by trade and handicraft. The rule of the province is in the hands of the Christians. Uh-oh. Well, let's see what we got. We could be talking Genghis. I don't know. As I have told you, but there are also plenty of idolaters and worshippers of Muhammad. I really want to dig on these three Moseses, man. Yeah, there's a lot of drop starting to connect. Yeah, man. I'm just putting it together in real time, man. You know, I advise you do the same. You got the links. Dig on it, man. Just dig on it. Dig on it. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see what goes down. So, we talking Christians or we talking the Nestorians, right? Connected to this wisdom, this wise counsel, this old king, this Nestor. So, 99 times out of 100, this is exactly what we're talking about when we talk any type of dark age Christianity, anything to do with you and your provinces and your kingdoms, because they just connected your old wise counsel, right, to their version of what Christianity is. And some even said that because we treated them better than other folks, you know what I'm saying? We were kind to them. So since we were kind to the Christians, we were called Christians. So none of this shit makes any sense when you talk about the medieval times, right? And who's calling it medieval? Dark ages. We're talking about golden horde, glory. We're talking about, high level sophistication. We're talking about having your land and what the earth really looked like. Really looked like, man. This is 1500s, man. A lot's changed in 500 years, ain't it? Old king renowned for wise counsel. Got it. So a lot of folks in this territory were worshippers of Muhammad. And I'm just, loosely starting to connect this Georgiy with this Muhammad situation as well. And more is starting to look like a more on more war. I'm not calling Genghis Khan Muhammad, but I just want to surf the wave. Let's go. And there is also here a class of people called Argons. I remember all these little characters and stories, man. Jason and the Argonauts. All this has to do with reality, man. Which is as much to say in French, go small, gus small, goose, goa small. Or in other words, sprung from two different races, to wit, of the race of the idolaters of Tinduk and that of the worshippers of Muhammad. There are handsomer men. They are handsomer men than the other natives of the country. And having more ability, they come to have authority, and they are also capital merchants. We're just talking Ghenghis, right? We're just talking Prester John. Let's go. You must know that it was in this same capital city of Tinduk that Prester John had the seat of his government when he ruled over the Tartars. So this same capital city that Prester John had his seat in when he ruled over the Tartars. And his heirs still abide there. His heirs still abide there. His heirs still abide there. Prester John, British Museum, 1530. His heirs still abide there. Who are you, my naga, my nigga, Negro, African American? Who are you? His heirs still abide there, for as I have told you, this King George is of his line. Boom, bang, bang. King George. King George. Genghis Khan. Georgiy. Danilovich. It's so good. In fact, he is the sixth in descent from Prester John. So is he his blood nephew? Let's go. Here also is what we call the country of Gog and Magog. So right here we got a source saying that Gog and Magog is right on top of this land of Prester John. We're going to find that in another substantiating source, that this Gog and Magog is being kind of symbolically linked to the land of Prester John. We know that Prester John was keeping these enemies close, man. You know what I mean? He was keeping them in check. They, however, and connect this with the script, let's go. They, however, call it Ung or Mongol, after the names of the two races that existed in the province before the migration of the Tartars, Grand Tartary, India Superior. You got maps that got Grand Tartary over America or India Superior over America. Ung was the title of the people of the country. Now you put an L in front of it, you got Lung. And in Chinese, that Lung is dragon, right? Back to the Ame'ricans. And Mongol, a name sometimes applied to the Tartars, which we know just means great ones. Let's keep going. Let's get to the last couple. And when you have ridden 7 days eastward through the province, you get near the provinces of Cathay. What? Cathay. 7 days? What did he say? When you have ridden 7 days east through this province, you get near the provinces of Cathay. 7 days is a 7-day ride to Cathay East, huh? You know, that almost kind of went 7 days east. I'm just trying to picture where Georgia would be, you know, Georgia, George. Kingdom of Georgia, which might be connected with this Tunduk, you know what I mean? I'm just surfing the wave, right? So if you go east from Georgia, would you hit Cathay, Cateo, 7 day? I mean, at least we got orientation behind it. Remember, Cathay is just Katai, right? We're just talking the Kara Katai. The Cateo, Katayo. We're just talking the Kara Katai. 1098, there was not yet a division in the Katai, so it was united back with the Wang Khan, right? Or Khatan, Ankara Khatan. 13th century author is modernizing these Katai, Kara, Khatan live in certain hills through which I passed. You're talking to William of Rubric. We got to get back on his drop. Khan. I'm just belly flopping at this. It's super dropping this drop, man. You got the Uludashi drop, which is another priest king, Prester scenario. You got these Nestorians calling him King John. We got this last time, right? Nestorians again. Old king renowned for wise counsel. Nestor. Let's go. So now we can really relate to this, man. Now we can really relate, man. Yeah, man. Y'all make sure you are in the drop. I think we got a battle time coming up, man. So let's say you was 2 o'clock in the morning. You wanted to get some drop, man. You can come over here and you got the what? The water in battle time, man. I'm just talking about the Shabbat time. And I will be getting a nice update on this drop, man. I got y'all, man. Ty Battle got the drop. What it do? Kyra, Big Brother Nature, CJ Battle, all the tribe. Make sure you tuning in. Lyrics and Books, 6 o'clock conference. Hey. Oh, man, that's the cut right there.
Game over. Yeah. Every Isaac movie, they'll say who was Prester John. They'll say who was Prester John. We got him on the run, boy, we got him on the run. They'll say this the magic scepter when the tin was pointed at him, boy, we got him on the run. Man, we driving up for fun. Man, so chillin'. One for me, one for my man. So chillin', slow, reelin' with my hand. Reelin' in the plan, we just reelin' with the plan. Or King Kong, Grand Khan in my company. I'm so chillin', making my beach. 10 toes, we firm, fix the movable. 9 commandments, the spiral is so portable. They'll say who's Prester John, they'll say who's Prester John. Boy, got him on the run, boy, got him on the run. It's the magic session with the emerald.
Got him on the run. Look. They say who is Prester John? Wait, let me ask my mom. Sister, spitting wisdom, call it Diversas. We're on a mission, on a quest that goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Referencing the tablets when I'm up against my habits. Time traveling to the past in the days of joyous laughing. Got me thinking, man, what happened? I'm looking for Prester John, like aye, Captain.
Hijack Slayer, we hijack free everywhere. Execution, X marks the spot in every prayer. Drop nation, they can't tell us who we are. No. Sprout seeds, they buried us and here we are. They'll say who's Prester John, they'll say who's Prester John. Boy, we got him on the run, boy, we got him on the run. You'll see there's that magic scepter with that hammer pointed at him. Boy, we got him on the run, man, we driving up for fun. I mean, 2 cups, so chillin' in my hand. Let go, one for me. One for my man, come on. So chillin', slow, reelin' in my hand. We reelin' in the plan, we just really with the plan. So you can't cut the low. So chillin', let's go. Cut the low. So it's so can't cut the low.
We in battle time. We do it every time. More man. Slap box. Guaranteed.
Shalom.
Hot box, man. Shalom, man. That's Ahchwa Type Battle on the ones and the twos, man. Hold up, man. We over here, man, just chilling with the Dragon sponsors, man. Don't mind us. We just falling back. We just surfing the wave. We just getting zany, man. We just enjoying the flow. Hold up, man. I had my since we gonna get Mongolian, man, let's turn it up with some. Let's take it there, man. Let's take it there, man. Who is Prester John? So now we overstand. When we talk Cathay, we're talking Kutai. When we talk Cathay, we're talking Catholic, Catholicism, Cathar. But all we really talking about is the Kara, Katai. Let's get the drop. You find throughout these 7-day journey plenty of towns, villages, the inhabitants of which are Mahometans, but with the mixture also of idolaters and Nestorian Christians. Right in our face. Nestor, right? Old king renowned for wise counsel. Nestor. They get their living by trade and manufactures, weaving those fine cloths of gold, which are called nasik and nakis, besides silk stuffs and many other kinds. So remember the silk rose in the Genghis Khan situation, right? We're just talking King George ruling over the Tartars. So in case we didn't overstand from this comparison that George is Genghis Khan, we can at least overstand from this substantiating doc that King George is the same ruler over the Tartars, right? But all of this land, all of this was once just under Prester John, and then came the war, right? The more on more. And most of the time up here, it would say, there you go, Barbarian or Tatarian. So they had this connection with this one particular India. But remember, this is Prester John. He's emperor of the 3 Indias, including this India, which actually a map by Abraham Ortelius, 1527 to 1598. All right, so we have Presbyter Johannes, right? Priest King Prester John. And that's why everyone kind of has to stand still and listen to what, we're saying, because I don't care if you're my African brother who's just Africa, you still got to listen to the drop when it comes to Prester John. Everyone's heard about Prester John. Africa or America. You decide. Remember, this is West Africa, according to the Ame'rican Moorish maps. You're in Northwest Africa. All right. So we know we're talking George, which we know we're talking Kingdom of Georgia, and we know we're talking Genghis Khan, Silk Road, right? All this stuff of silk and gold. All this region is subject to the Great Khan. There is a city you come to called Sindashu. where they carry on a great many crafts, such as provide for the equipment of the emperor's troops. In a mountain of the province, there is a very good silver mine, from which much silver is got. The place is called Yedifu. Man, none of these sound like just mixed up, like someone just mixed up, scrambled the letters up. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like they scrambled the letters up. That's why they put them in all caps. Like this is some type of, you know what I mean, some type of scrambled anagram situation. You know what I mean? Some type of code. The country is well stocked with game, with both beast and bird. Now we quit the province and go 3 days' journey forward. This is all just dropping from Marco Polo. So if you rock that close with King George or Genghis Khan, you know he was very astute of Priest King Prester John and King David. So you really got to, you know what I'm saying, ride the wave with this Marco Polo. Let's go. This is that history today drop. Let's get some of this. Later, it became generally accepted that his kingdom lay in Africa. Generally accepted. So they don't know. We'll accept that generally. With the growth of the geographical knowledge and the discovery of the places in which Prester John was not found, the location of the priest king moves to lesser known regions. The development of the legend makes a fascinating study, not only for the sake of its wealth and fabulous detail, but also because the belief in the existence of Prester John had a profound effect on the history of European exploration and discovery in India and Africa and the Americas. 1513, right? 1492, Columbus find you. Let's go. So they're looking around Asia and Africa, over there. They're looking over there. They finally stopped looking around 1600s. They say, oh, got it. Remember, Columbus didn't come straight to North America, right? You know what I mean? They just found California in the 1700s. Right around that time, they found Cali. Right around that time, they came up in here. Suddenly, they stopped looking at 1645. Just rode up on Cali in the 1700s. And they suddenly said, oh, got it. Not Asia there. Not that India. We know he's not in Africa. Let's keep reading. Oh, we got a lot of drop, man. It's gonna be one of the strongest dismounts of all time. This is this 47th installment, man, of the Prester John investigation. Many elements in the corpus of medieval mythology played their part in paving the way for the appearance of the priest king. The legends of the exploits in Asia of Alexander the Great contain many details of the wonders which could be expected in the Orient. The Orient. Remember the legend and sources have a picture of Prester John and call him an Oriental. The Naga, the associated story of Gog and Magog, and of the wall which Alexander built to prevent these malevolent people from devastating the civilized world, gave strength to the idea that the safety of Christendom might depend upon some force outside its borders. So they were depending on Prester John. They were hoping for a savior. Get it? Now we start talking about the Jewish Messiah. But these so-called Christians over there, man, they needed saving from the Moors or the Mohammedans, right? They needed saving from Islam. They were hoping for Prester John, priest king, to save them. They weren't waiting for Jesus to save them. They were waiting for Prester John to save them. Remember, they thought the world was ending in 1666. They were millenarian Christians. Specifically, Columbus was a millenarian, meaning he thought it was the millennium. He thought the world was ending in 1666. Look it up. They thought the world was ending in 1666, and they stopped looking for Prester John in 1645. Almost as if finding the land of Prester John gave them a whole new life. They got new life when they found America. Gurkhan. They got new life. This Christ gave them new life. He's talking Black Christ, right? And remember the association with Gog and Magog, because that's going to tie into this other doc we're about to get. And this wall. And on this wall, there's some type of writing on it. Maybe they'll mention it, but, where it said, something about Prester John. This wall was built by Prester John or something like that. I was hoping to get a picture of it. But maybe we got to do that next time, man. This wall was built. I'm just throwing a softball up here. Yeah, we're talking the same Great Wall of China. So apparently, Prester John built that. Or it was Genghis Khan, using the title Prester John. Either way, Prester John, Prester John, built this wall. This strong wall to keep out Gog and Magog. You dig further, let's go. The story of the Magi. All right, let's get into their Isa. Let's go. The story of the Magi, the three wise kings of the East who brought gifts to the infant Isa, right? Suggested that there might be, as yet discovered, Eastern rulers who were true friends to the Christian faith. Nestorians, right? The Jewish belief in the extent of the lost 10 tribes of Israel in some part of the furthest Asia, the furthest Indias, the third India occupies the, rim between the rim of darkness and the, what I'm talking about, the ocean and the rim of darkness, according to Ronald Sanders and the Lost Tribes of Promised Lands. The furthest Asia is the furthest India, is the third India, is India superior. This is the furthest Asia, so it's not just one Asia. It's not just one India. It's not just one Ethiopia. This is the original Ethiopia. All right, the original Nagas right here. This is, connected to that Mu and all that. This is east. Look how they put it. This is not west of Asia. This is east. This would be the Orient. And the furthest Asia is right here. It's the furthest Asia. Let's go. The Jewish belief in the existence of the lost tribes of Israel in some part of the furthest Asia. Lost tribes of Israel in the furthest Asia. Perhaps behind the wall of Gog and Magog strengthened this concept of salvation from without, by its implication that the long-awaited Jewish Messiah might arise from among these excluded tribes. India superior. India, Superior, Cathay, China, Mangi, Mongol, Mongol, Mexico. Finally, there was the fact that of the early spread of Christianity to remote corners of Asia, which had given rise to legends concerning the missions of the Apostle St. Thomas to India and China. Because they knew St. Thomas is over here in the Americas. All right? It's a lot to dig on, so I'm going to get it like this. Alright, so the bishop had heard that not long ago, one John, right, king and priest, who dwells in the extreme orient, man, that's east, man. Alright, again, you're east of them. You're east. This is west, that's east. This is the real orientation. And is with his people a Christian. But a Nestorian. Here we go again. Old king renowned for wisdom, right? Had defeated the Persians, captured the world. After this victory, John set out with his army to come to the aid of the Crusaders, but was unable to get his troops across the Tigris. So that's the story. They were calling him Magi, was said to be of the ancient race of those Magi who were mentioned in the gospel. So you got all these Prester John sightings popping up in the gospel, whether you're talking about the Ethiopian, the eunuchs, or the Magi's, or the John the Baptist, right? We talking fountain of youth. They just talking reflection. Gospel of John, all right? And to have such glory and wealth that he used only an emerald scepter. They'll say, where's that magic scepter when that emerald's pointed at you? Boy, we got him on the run. Man, we tried him up for fun. Wow. Now, remember we connected this with Moshe being in the dungeon for 10 years? And then he gets out the dungeon and then he goes to Reuel's garden or Jethro's garden and pulls out the scepter. They call it a sapphire staff, emerald staff, or sapphire staff. Either way, you're talking a crystal staff, man. It was from his being fired by the example of his fathers, who came to adore Christ in his cradle. And he was proposing to go to Jerusalem, and he was prevented by the cause already alleged. All right, so another connection with this David and Moses, this Prester John and this Moses, both having this emerald scepter or sapphire staff. All right, then you got this 1141. All this is overlapping 12th century. There is certain basis of contemporaneous living at the same time behind this old story, 1141. The Seljuk Sultan Sinjar is one of the decisive battles in the history of Central Asia. Was defeated at Katwan near Samarkand by a Mongol people, the Cathay, who had recently migrated to Central Asia from the previous home in North China. So what we know is that when they keep saying Asia, we know that there's more than one Asia. And when they keep talking about Genghis Khan being in Asia, just know that there's more than one Asia. And you're also talking about America. And this is when you start to, dodge the hijack and see clearly that you're already home. This is it right here. The Cathay, right, who had recently migrated to Central Asia, right? Home in northern China, right? We see China right here. Let's go. The Kara, or Black Kitai, were a branch of the Khitans who had ruled over North China from 936 to 1122. Black. So when you hear about the Black Horde, you're talking about the Black Order. The black, like Cali, California. Cali means black. Kara means black. In Turkic, Kara means black. And it said it ruled over North China. Back to the map. China. So this will still put you right in the same area. North China, Cathay, Kara Katai. North China will still be right here according to that map. North China. Let's go. When they had been dispossessed by another Mongolian group, the Kin. Now we need to go back and dig on these Kenites and Rechabites. Or Canaanites. Remember that? So, Kenite, Rechabite, all this is connected with scripture now. We're breaking the spell. One branch remained under Ken domination. And just for fun, so you know this ain't play. They spell it K-I-N. It's also K-E-N. Kenites, and you can go Rechabites. Rechabites are a biblical clan. We're talking clan Ross, right? Let's go. The descendants of Rechab through Jehonadab, they belong to the Kenites. Kenites were a nomadic tribe in ancient Levant. The Kenites were coppersmiths, metalworkers, played an important role in the history of ancient Israel. One of the most recognized Kenites is Jethro, Moses' father-in-law. This shepherd. They belonged to the Kenites who accompanied the Israelites into the Holy Land and dwelt among them. So they rocked in the Holy Land. They were rocking with Israel that tight, these Kenites. And according to this, source here, the Kenites, the main one is Jethro, who had the sapphire staff in the book of Jasher that ended up getting passed to Moses after he got out of the dungeon for 10 years. Oh, yeah. The term Rechabites also refers to a religious order similar to the Nazarites. So you got Jesus of Nazareth over here, but then you got this Joshua who's more connected with the Rechabites. But they're very similar. So one branch remained under Ken domination. Another branch set out on a migration. Migration sounds like Exodus. And after the Exodus, they went into a holy land. They belonged to the Kenites who accompanied the Israelites into the Holy Land and dwelt with them. The main body of the Kenites dwelt in cities and adopted settled habits of life. But Jehonadab forbade his descendants to drink wine or live in the cities. And then there's a whole drop on this in the script, right? All this is in the script. You got to dig on Jeremiah 35. 1 Samuel 30. All this is going to relate back to the Kenites and the Rechabites and this holy land and Jethro. And right here is connected to the Mongols, right? To the Kara Katai. Again, Kara, Black Katai, were a branch of the Khitan who ruled over North China, 936, 1122. They were dispossessed by another Mongol group called the Kin. So you got these Kenites dwelling with Israel, but what went down between, I guess, certain factions of these particular Kenites? It is from the name of these people, the Katai, that the name which Marco Polo gave to China, Cathay, is derived. So Katai is where Cathay is derived. So I'm not making this shit up. Cathay is Katai. And from this you get Catholic and Catholicism and Cathness, right? The Scottish Cathness, which is just from Cathay, and these Scots and these Clan Rosses, which are what? First found in Cathness. You're only talking Kara Katai, Black Cathness, Black Cathay, Black Katai. That the name which Marco Polo gave to China, Cathay, is derived. Katai, Kara Katai is China. If he's the ruling, emperor over this, dynasty or this clan, this tribe, this Israelites, you're just talking the Chinese or the Katai. Kin. Kenna. Not China. Kin. CH is like KH. It's a hard cut. It's not a ch. That's make-believe. Linguistically, philology-wise, Chin is kin. So there was an infighting going down. Of course, right? Where do we hear that? Now watch this. The Prester John of this story is the emperor of the Kara Katai. We're just talking China, right? Because Marco Polo gave the name Cathay, meaning China. So when you see La China here, this is also Cathay is also China. So all this is China or India Superior. All this is Cathay, China or India Superior. Or Mexico, Meshi, Moshe, Meshi. So you got Mexico named after Moses. You got this Prester John. You got this David and you got this Moses, man. All right, let's go. So the Prester John in the story is the emperor of the Kara Katai, the Gurkhan, Yelutashi by name. But be careful. Remember, when we talk Gurkhan, remember you're talking George, you're talking Genghis, or you're talking Gurkhan. So these are all titles. Even Gurkhan George was probably stolen from Prester John. Gurkhan was probably stolen from Prester John. All by this Genghis Khan, which is nothing but a big title. But can we also call him the Yelutashi? And Yelutashi was certainly no Christian. If anything, he was Buddhist. Yeah. Surf the wave. Surf the wave, man. Let's keep going. Love to the hot Khan. Dropping that Arbroath, Scottish Arbroath, man. And this is connecting these Scots, right? These Scots, these Scottish, these Nagas, this clan Russia, Cathay, China, Qatar. We're just talking to Rus. We're just talking to Tao, the Makir. You can get the whole drop, man. They're just talking about who? St. Andrews, right? Andrews. St. Andrews, right? Now, this Scottish Arbroath again was, had the purpose of, it says, convincing Pope John the 22nd, resident of Avignon, France, that Scotland was an independent country, man, which they said, man, we're going to be hijack free. Hijack free. Particularly interesting is that the declaration claims a connection between the Scots and the Scythians. So we're going to dig a little on the Scots connection with the Scythians. Scotia is Scythia. All right. And also mention the exodus of the children of Israel from Egypt. The ancient tribe of the Scythians or Scythians once lived in the area to which the lost 10 tribes of Israel were deported by the Assyrian Empire. The ancient tribe of these Scythians or Scots once lived in the area where the Israelites were deported. Now they say the Scottish flag contains the cross of St. Andrews. And again, this cross of St. Andrews is the same Hebrew Tau, which means the mark, the sign, the covenant. We're talking the Makir. Just a piece of this great independent, love to the Templar, who also did a version. He does a version of this. We play it every week, man, for the Shabbat show. Love to the Templar, the 432 declaration of one drop, man, one drop nation. Most holy Father and Lord. Now, we know this has been Christianized, so I'll do my best to dodge the hijack. But you pretty much got to dodge your own damn hijack. And Ty Battle told you that. Hold on, man. Let me see where we at. Okay, good. Perfect. Most holy Father and Lord, we know, and from the chronicles and books of the ancients, we find that among other famous nations, our own, the Scots, have been graced with widespread renown. They journeyed from Greater Scythia by way of the Tyrrhenian Sea and Pillars of Hercules, and dwelt for a long course of time in Spain among the most savage tribes. But nowhere could they be subdued by any race, however barbarous. Thence they came 1,200 years after the people of Israel crossed the Red Sea to their home in the west, where they still live today. The Britons, they first drove out. The Picts, they utterly destroyed. The Picts are the Rus, are the Ross, are the Israelites. And even though very often assailed by the Norwegians, the Danes, and the English, they took possession of that home with many victories and untold efforts. And as the historians of old time bear witness, they have held it free of all bondage ever since. In their kingdom, there have reigned 113 kings of their own royal stock, Israelite stock, Prester stock, David stock. The line unbroken, a single foreigner. And I advise you read all this, beautiful piece, man, because you're gonna see clearly you're just talking about yourself. And it said as long as 100 remain, would never fall under English rule. As long as we got 100, we'll keep fighting. We won't bend the knee. Now this is pretty mind blasting right here. Because you remember we were digging on the Ross. Clan Ross. And then immediately you see these Macs pop up. Feather or Furcher Mac. And you say, well, what's all these Macs about? Yeah, they have a whole, you could look up like chiefs, the first Ross chiefs, and you might have a link somewhere to it. But you're going to see all these chiefs, and you're going to see a lot of Macs in their names. We're going to have to dig on these islands, man. But yeah, so you got this Mac, this miggity Mac daddy. So you look up these, these are titles, man, Check out all these titles, right? And let's just see what they're talking about. So you got Mac, Mag, Muck, from Makir. Just like Makir, Todros, Ross, Todros. Makir Mary. Or you got the son of Manasseh, who's also Makir. I mean, these Makirs are starting to pop up all over the place. Elder son Mag, elder son, priest. So you have priest, kings, or presters. Great. Son of the faith, son of the house. That's what Mac means, man. So when you look at these Macs, let's go. And you got the clan Mac or Mackay. All right, this is powerful Highland Scottish clans. Clan Mackey, right? I'm just, surfing the wave, man. David Ross. There we go. Chiefs of Clan Ross. By the way, when you talk about, their garments, this is the Ross red tartan. This is called a tartan. So when you talk about gland the Tartars, you're immediately going right into Ross or the Rus or Russia or Russia. And I'm going to dig, eventually on all these castles, man. 'Cause this is all our stuff. All our things. I want to dig on the castles. I want to dig on the swords. And love to Natural, man. Natural dug on abandoned Ame'rican castles, man. That's going to take you a whole nother beautiful place right there. Sir David Ross. David Ross the 11, David Ross the 12, David Ross the 13, David. All this is connected with these Russes, these Johns and these Davids. Georges, all right. More Georges. And there's a David Ross, who's the current chief of clan, but you already know it's Hijack City. He just stealing the names, right? Stealing the titles. So yeah, I thought that was interesting with this Mac business, and dig on it. You're gonna start finding a bunch of Macs. All right, you got other names they're putting together. Malaga from Melek, Gaza, stronghold like the Gaza Strip. All that connecting with the stronghold or a kingdom. You got the Malcolm or Malcolm Khan, their king from Melki, like Melchizedek, Malcolm. King, kingdom. You got the Perez situation. Put it all together. Zara, Gaza, stronghold of Zara. Now, this is really interesting when you dig on Magog, because you remember we read that this Prester John and his Gog Magog scenario is really close, in proximity. Here also is what we call the country Gog and Magog. Here also. So this is connected with this Tunduk and this Prester John. And this is a interesting way of correlating it as well. This is more like a correlation thing. They just kind of putting what's correlated, what's connected, Magog, land of God. Now you start going through all these different spellings and all these different drops. And I'm just looking at all these scenarios connected with the same land, right? This land of Prester John, which is connected with this land of Gog and Magog. Because you got this David right there keeping this hijack in check. And right here you got the Sith. Right? It's like Star Wars, right? The Sith. All right. Scythia. What else do we got that correlates? You got the Rus. You got the Russian. Rus. What else we got? All right, of course, you got the Tartars situated over here. So you see some Rus, some Scythia business, some Slav business. And you can start kind of connecting and weaving this stuff. Because we know, of course, that this land, this Prester John territory here, also we will see the country of Gog and Magog. So there is a connection with these lands. We're just talking Cathay. We're just talking Quivere. We're just talking Anian Kingdom. Anan. Get this link. This is from Britom.org. This cat's connecting something that he's researching, biblical locations. Now, first you look at this and you're like, man, they trying to hijack, trying to say that, these clans are all white or something, until you know who the Scots look like, till you know that Benjamin Franklin said all of other Scotland and Irish, they're all swarthy, right? And America's wholly swarthy. So he said all of Asia is black people. All of America is black people. And the only whites are the English and the Saxons. So we know what we're talking about. Tribal and clan names. 70 souls went down to Egypt with Jacob and his family. These include the family of Joseph. These names are repeated with some variations in the book of Numbers. We're just talking the clan names. Hebrew tribes and clans that bore certain names marched together in certain formations and had certain peculiar characteristics, have been traced bearing similar and identical names. We're talking tribal confederations. So this particular researcher is linking Gad, I guess, to the Goths. All right, this is how you can find some of this Mongol Dark Age connection with Israelites. All right, you can check all this out. Gad was a name for the Goths, an identifying root for Gothic toponymy. Gadini in Scotland. Okay. Clans of Gad. You know, I'm just gonna scroll through it. You got the link. Possible meaning of the names. You got Haggai. All right. Wild donkey. All right. Then you got Naphtali. Connecting these Huns. Tribe of Dan. Scythian tribe, huh? Uh-huh. Franks in Germany. Remember the Franks and the Russes were part and parcel in creating the Knight Templar, according to Jesse Ben Andrews. Tribe of Judah shall acknowledge the righteousness of, in Hebrew, Yadokah, translated in the King James as shall praise. Shall acknowledge the righteousness of, you know what I mean? So when you talk Judah, you're talking David, and you shall acknowledge the righteousness of your Davidic priest, king, Khan, Wa. Judah, you are whom your brethren shall acknowledge the righteousness of. Your hand shall be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's children shall bow down to you. Shall bow down to you. Shall overstand the order. The order is the order. You know, and you see how they're connected. Again, you got the Scythia situation. Sicilia, Syria, Switzerland, Denmark. Clans of Judah, they got Scythians, they got Franks. So you might hear about the Franks, and you might hear about the Scythians, but you're just talking about Judah, same tribe. Even the Saxons, Benjamin Franklin. Uh-oh. Guess you only left with the English. All right, man, dig on it, man. It's a lot of drive. We're just talking the Chiefs. We're talking Clan Ross. We're talking the Swarthy. We're talking Lost Tribes of Israel. We're talking you, my Naga. We're talking you. Which means we're talking George and Genghis Khan or Gurkhan. When we talk George, we know we're just talking the Kingdom of Georgia. Medieval Eurasian monarchy emerged around 1000, they say, huh? Reached its golden age. Again, when you're talking these dark ages, you're talking the golden age of the Naga of Israel. Political and economic strength during the reign of King David IV. Wow. And Queen Tamar the Great. So under David and Tamar, it was in its golden age. Under King David, it was in its golden age. Under Anan ben David, it was in its golden age. Under Moshe, it was in its golden age. Georgia became one of the preeminent nations of the Christian East, her pan-Caucasian empire stretching. You get the drift. Lasted for several centuries, the kingdom fell to the Mongol invasion in the 13th century. Did not say there had to be a hijack at the same damn time, which means that even if it's the kingdom of George, and even if we're connecting, even if we are choosing to connect, this George and Genghis, even if we do all that, Genghis still can't claim this title because he's hijacking himself into the kingdom of Georgia, taking the title of George, taking the title of David, taking the title of Prester. In what, the 1200s, right? They say 1202, Genghis Khan went to war with Prester John. So I knew there had to be a hijack in the kingdom of Georgia at the same time. But managed to reassert sovereignty by the 1340s, yeah, because, now you got these Batu Khans and this Vatican. Batu Khan is Vatican, let's go. The following decades were marked by Black Death, as well as numerous invasions under the leadership of Timur, who devastated the country's economy, population, and urban centers. The kingdom's geopolitical situation further worsened after the fall of the Byzantine. All this is connected. Because the Byzantine was when they said, man, let's just get rid of all them. I don't care if it's Genghis people. I don't care if it's, David's people. Let's just get rid of all them. 1452, Papal Bull. 1453, the fall of the Byzantine. Come on now. 1 year after the Papal Bull is the fall of the Byzantine. There had to be some drop in this Byzantine, and we're getting it. By the end of the 15th century, Georgia turned into a fractured entity. Just for fun, I just want to look up the Georgia state flag. Oh, come on, man. Old Georgia state fleet flag. What do you see? I can't make this shit up. Can't make it up, man. You're talking the same Russes, the same kingdom. And it's right in your face, bro. X marks the spot. So quickly for the dismount, we just, digging on this Bagratuni. This dynasty, man. Because we're running to them, in the timelines, these Bagratuni's. You start recounting the David Saul sling, you start running into Bagratuni's, right? Hatun Bagratuni, son of Prince David of Georgia, right? The dynasty claimed descent from the biblical king and prophet David. And prophet, huh? So this Bagratuni dynasty claims descent. We're talking Georgiy. They claim descent. Genghis Khan claims descent from David, from Prester John. The king of the province is of the lineage of Prester John, George by name. The dynasty claimed descent from the biblical king and prophet David and came from Israel around 530 AD. The tradition had it that of 7 refugee brothers of Davidic line, 3 of them settled in Armenia, the other 4 in Kartli or Iberia, Spain. So when you have all these Hebrews being kicked out of Spain in 1492, you have this line of David that's being booted out of Spain, all connected with the Byzantine. Let's go. And we're gonna dig more on this doc, man. I got a lot to belly flop in this joint right here. This searches for the imaginary kingdom and legend of Prester John. Just digging on it, man. Of course, they're gonna not give us everything. We ain't gonna get it all, are we? They ain't gonna give us everything. They gonna give us some. Again, you're still talking Nestorian. You're talking Genghis, the Mongol Black Faith, the Kariot. I'm just. But how did Genghis Khan manage to reconcile his new subjects accustomed to free life to his unlimited power? Man, all this history has everything to do with you, has everything to do with the so-called Saracen, has everything to do with the Papal Bull 1452, where it literally says subjugate all Saracens, right? Yeah, I got another Gurkhan. Okay. Yeah, all right. So we're going to get it. I'm going to dig on this, man. I'm just looking at it, man. Back to the Tartars. Yeah, I mean, this is my time to really dig, man. When I'm over here with y'all, this is when I dig. Other than that, I'm chasing babies around, you know what I mean? Trying to, make sure daddy daycare is all good, man. You know what I mean? Making sure the wife is happy, just trying to tribe up, man. Just tribing up. The courage and ruin of King David, 1143 to 1218. Oh, man, this might be a nice, they break it up? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you got the link. You see there's a lot of juice and a lot of drop. Quickly for the dismount, let's I told you it's gonna be one of the greatest dismounts of all time. So you know how we do it, man. This is Prester John 47. Making sure I still got my drop. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're back in the medieval history of the Israelites. Again, if you need, to check out this beautiful source, just email me, man. music@432thedrop.com. Shout out to the fan that have already emailed me. I've already hit you with that and gotten back to you. So check your email. Let's go. All right, let's do it like this. Page 67. Take your time in this one, y'all. You got to take your time in this one. So when you talk about the timelines and you talk about Christianity and these time shifts and what they're calling this Isus over here, this black Christ, this duplicate, which is only a symbolic representation of your particular crucifixion and affliction, this invasion over here. You got to narrow down the timelines and overstand the shifts and do your own research. Don't take my word or Anatoly for the Manco's word. Dig on it. Dig on it. We're just talking time shifts. Even with the ancient Greek, it really is ancient European shifts amount to approximately 1,800 years. That is, events of the 14th century are attributed to more than 1,000 years ago. Events of the 14th century, that's the 1300s, are attributed to more than 1,000 years ago. So you're over there in the 300s, 400s, 300s. Events of the 14th century have been pushed back 1,000 years. The all-European history or Roman shift displaced 1,050 years. That is the birth of this Christ or this Joshua was much closer to 1,000 years ago than 2,000. And finally, the Byzantine shift of 300 years, the imaginary transfer of the capital of the Roman Empire to Constantinople, is another example of this time shift. Pre-Christian period moved by the traditional chronology deep into the centuries. In fact, is separated from us by some 800 to 900 years. This was not that long ago. And indeed, from it, all our achievements of today derive. This era was the foundation of our material and cultural existence. The time called by the adherents of the traditional chronology, the Dark Ages, the centuries of barbarism, that is, the outburst of savagery and wildness after a supposedly golden age of a concocted antiquity, is in fact a time of a slow advancing movement forward, of an accumulation of knowledge, of experience, and of mankind's painful but fruitful spiritual conquest. Let's go. Because when you talk the Mongols, you're talking the Russians. When you talk the Russians, you're talking the Mongols. Mongols mean great ones. Rus is connected to the great ones, the greatest ones, man. So there's no separation between the Mongols and the Russians or some Mongol invasion of Russia. It's just the Russian, uprising in Russia. All right? The Georgies. Here they're just comparing the China and the Roman Empire and showing the duplicate between both of them. We're going to pick it up right here at 208. We're just talking about John the Baptist. We're talking about the Huns, the Hanu, the Hun. There's also parallels just as surprising and striking, especially regarding the Son of Heaven, i.e. Christ, in which connection Chinese legend gives, in our opinion, a more accurate dating of his appearance in history, the 11th century A.D. That's when you got your Quetzalcoatl. That's when you got your foundation. We can't say the words of the New Testament are coming from, this Mongol, or this Aztec, or this Toltec Sylvanus line of Israel, the sevenths and eighths and Davids. All we can say is that there's a reflection and a foundation in it. That they took and put some coloration on it to get you outside of yourself. Afterwards, Jesus Christ occurred in the 11th century. Again, according to the dating of the adherents of new chronology, the activity of John the Baptist and Joshua, Isa, occurred in the 11th century. An indication of these events is preserved in the Chronicles. The Cariot accepted baptism. Man, dodge your own damn hijack. In 1009, at approximately the same time that Turkic-speaking Ongol accepted Christianity, the Ongus, and in part of Kigil, were baptized. Even among the Kedan themselves and the tribes of Western Manchuria who were subordinate to them, some Christian element was found that gave rise to the appearance in medieval Europe of the legend of Prester John. Most likely, this is a reflection of John the Baptist. I think John the Baptist is a reflection of Prester John. And the baptism connected with him. We're talking the fountain of youth, man. What came first? Especially since in the beginning of the 11th century, John Crescentius appears in Roman history, who is one of the reflections of John the Baptist. So we got another John, another reflection, another John, another reflection, and they go on. Then they go on. Oh, we're back to the Great Wall. We're back to the wall. Okay. Let's keep going. We're just making a dismount here in the medieval history of the Israelites. Yeah, man. Make sure we're good.